Hello, friends. This is our 8th call of our 8 calls and the last one of SP Complete 21-day Purification Cleanse support calls. And today is the first day off of the cleanse. So we have done 21 days of 2 to 3 smoothies a day. We have been eating a lot of salads, a lot of green vegetables, fruit and berries, and very few options for any grains. Protein has been beans or quinoa, perhaps some brown rice. So today is time to start to introduce real food again. I feel like we've been eating a whole lot of real food and some really amazing foods and some high vibrational foods. And my wish, of course, with these videos is that we will update our intake of high quality foods, high vibrational foods, and stick with that as we start to introduce our kind of normal society foods again. However, we will certainly eat very differently, and we will eat more mindfully, and we will only introduce foods that we want back in our diet. If we came to this 21-day cleanse because there was bloating, there was skin rashes, there were headaches, it was fatigue, it was not feeling great, and maybe we feel a little bit more uplifted. Now, 21 days is a big chunk of days to put in to change how we eat. So my wish is that you stick with your new way of eating. Certainly, it is time to take away the powders that helps us to eliminate toxins. We do not have to be on a cleanse for the rest of our lives. But I do encourage you to perhaps redo one of these cleanses within the springtime, the fall, spring and fall, to reset and reset and reset our digestive system. It is a never-ending update, correct? So we'll keep that going. However, when you start to introduce foods today, day one, you have already introduced some protein with the way of your smoothie intake and vegetables and salads and all kinds of ways of eating our leafy greens and more. The list is below still of what we had during this cleanse, and that is something that we should take with us into our new updated way of eating. We cannot live on smoothies alone, but we can certainly still have them in our lives, and that's a great way to get our 3 to 4 servings of 4 to 6 servings of greens, berries, and fruits in our diet. 4 to 6 servings a day. 1 serving is half a cup. We talked about this in the previous video. You might want to listen to that again. So keep that going. That will help with breaking down and the foods that we are introducing. Who knows? Maybe we are introducing a different protein. Maybe we start to introduce grains again. Now, when we introduced grains and seafood and dairy, we do it very slowly and all the proteins. And we'll take a notebook and we write things down, how we feel about it, how we feel after we eat it. And we do small amounts and we make sure to check that it goes through our system and that it feels great and that we are feeling like it's serving us. If it doesn't serve us, then maybe we'll exchange it for another grain, another dairy, another protein until we have come into a nice alignment where we're eating foods that works for us. It is a long journey. It's like 21 days on a cleanse, and it can be up to another 21 days to figure out what we can eat so that we still feel really good in the way that we're eating. So small amounts, see how it feels. Not necessarily that you should eat smaller amounts of food, but introduce the grains, the dairy, the protein in small amounts so that it doesn't cause like a conjunction or act like a stopper or a plug in our digestive system. We want everything to be nice and smooth. I highly recommend to stick with the whole food fiber that we've been using for our smoothies. That's a really good one to just mix in a juice or mix in a glass of water. It tastes really good. And to drink that down, it'll help with the with bringing enzymes into the body. It'll help with cleaning out and helping us with the digestion. Because most likely you're listening to this because you want to update your digestion and have a nice and free and clear and easy digestion, and only absorb foods, nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that our body needs, and eliminate the rest. So with that, we need to just think about what goes in. We are not going back to the old ways of eating. We are taking some of the things that doesn't serve us, fall away, and then we introduce something new. And I am certain that there is some kind of food on this list that we have listed below in the comments. It takes a little while to upload because it's a big list, so bear with it, but it does upload. It is an SP standard process purification client information. And there is some amazing foods there that perhaps you want to introduce and keep in your diet, or newly introduce it and stay and have it as a new way of eating. Now, inflammation, if there's bloating when we introduce and our grains that we want to eat, if we introduce our dairy that we want to eat, and if we introduce protein that we want to eat, if there's bloating, then maybe either it was too much or maybe it wasn't for us. And maybe we needed to eat it with vegetables, or maybe we needed an enzyme to help to digest it, or maybe we just needed to choose something else. If we feel like the bloating is real, then maybe that kind of food is not for us, and then we choose another one. There is an array of foods out there to choose from, whole foods to choose from, that we can choose from. And sometimes there's too much to choose from. So stick with a real options, the healthy, real foods that it brings nutrients, vitamins, and minerals into our system. That's what we want. We want to bring in enzymes. We want to bring in vitamins. We want to bring in minerals. We want to bring in health and nutrition to our system. And with that said, we had another one of these videos where I know we spoke about daily vitamins. It is important to take our daily vitamins because sometimes even the bestest whole foods in the world diet might still not have the recommended daily intake for our age group of vitamins and minerals and healthy omega-3 oils. We need all of that in our system so that we can break down the foods and absorb the nutrients that we're eating. So that is something to keep in mind. And another thing to keep in mind as we're stepping into this new updated way of eating is to take a good look at the sugar amount that we're eating. And remember, again, this was another chapter, but this is a good reminder that a woman's liver can digest 24 grams of added sugar, and a male liver can digest up to, I believe, 36 grams of sugar daily. So 24 grams of sugar is 6 teaspoons. For a woman, and added sugar is just that, added white sugar. That's added sugar that's added to a food. Like if you eat plain dairy and you want to add sugar, then you are adding just the amount of sugar that you can have throughout the day that we need. We might need that kind of sugar, but eventually we will, to sustain energy, but eventually we will probably just fade completely away from the added sugar that dehydrates us, brings headaches, causes addiction to sugary foods. And instead we'll go for sugars that are natural sugars, that are not added sugar, which is raw honey, for instance, stevia, monk fruit, I believe, was somebody that said in this call. And then there is more. You can list them below, but we don't have to focus on the sugars because they're going to show up anyway in all kinds of foods that we are choosing to buy in the grocery stores, because they want us to buy more of these foods. So they put a lot of different kinds of yummy sugars so that we like it a lot. So the less sugar, the more real food, the more whole food that we eat, the better. Sugar from an apple, sugar from a pear, sugar from pineapple, the whole food with the fiber. Now that would be amazing if we can just go with that. And we can. If you have completed these 21 days, you haven't had any added sugar, and you should congratulate yourself and stick on that path and stay clean and clear away from added sugar. Besides that, I just want to thank you for listening to my 8 videos, and I hope that you find some information in any of those, and that it can help you to maybe stay self-motivated for a spring, a fall cleanse. And it's always nice to do it when the season changes, and clean out the whole immune system and have a nice, clean and clear state to kind of step onto and stay healthy, and also be able to digest food, and had the chance for 21 days of cleaning and clearing out any toxins and debris and added sugary foods that does not serve us. And then we can perhaps absorb and digest food a little bit differently after this cleanse. Again, bring out your notebooks, write things down, all the things how it makes you feel to eat food, and write down your meals that you had during the day. There is meal plans if you want more underneath in the comments from this cleanse system that we've been using, standard process, if you needed some extra inspiration and help. And write it down, make sure that it feels good as you eat it, make sure that it goes through your system perfectly, and make sure that it serves you. Make sure that you eat vibrant, healthy, life-filled foods with high frequencies. And also let's make sure that we stick with whole foods the very best that we can. And thank you so much again. And I wish you a happy and healthy future. So thank you, and reach out with any questions.